So this leads us to the topic of Infonomics, just kind of a primer on that. We're talking about monetizing, managing, and measuring data as an asset, and the kind of way they all go together as a single kind of concept. They say you can't manage what you don't measure. And I think it follows that you can't monetize what you're not managing. So think about that in terms of any other asset that your organization has. If you're not managing it, if you're not measuring it, you're having a difficult time monetizing it or generating value from that asset. So what do we mean when we talk about data monetization? Data monetization is this process of generating measurable value streams from available data assets. So a little bit to unpack there. First, it's a process. There should be an ongoing or at least a periodic process that your organization is going through. And at West Monroe, this is what I'm involved in pretty much full time, helping organizations generate ideas and develop those ideas. Beyond just building pretty pie charts and dashing dashboards. It's also, we also talk about measurable value streams because we're already doing a lot of things with our data, but most organizations are not measuring the impact of that. They're not connecting the dots between the data that was used and the outcomes via enhanced business process performance. And then from available data assets kind of refers to the notion that we can monetize data that comes from external sources as well, and we should be looking at external data to supplement our own and generate more value. And what we're finding is that AI is really a primary enabler of data monetization. Yes, we can use reporting and analytics and advanced analytics, but actually layering AI applications on top of these data sources generates even greater value. And I'll kind of show you what that maturity model looks like in a moment. Okay, so there's a lot of myths for data monetization that data has to be sold to be monetized, that you can only monetize your own data, that what else we have? The only data that's used has any value. That's not true as well. We actually find organizations monetizing data that's just latent, and I'll show you one of those patterns in a moment. But the bottom here is, I think, really interesting that due to privacy regulations, we can only monetize, we can't monetize our customer data. We hear that all the time, and it actually just shows kind of a lack of creativity, and I'll get back to that in a moment. But you really kind of need to work through those and really ought to be part of your data literacy and data fluency activities to educate people on kind of overcoming those mental barriers to what is data monetization. And we may call it different things in different organizations. We may refer to it as data enablement or data commercialization or data product development or whatever's comfortable for your organization. I'm fine with. I'm not doctrinaire. So what is our process? So our process for monetizing data it kind of breaks down like this. This is kind of a really high-level view of our overall approach. First, we want to generate ideas for ways to generate value from data. We want to assess and prioritize them. So I'm going to kind of focus in on those this morning. But then after that, you move into kind of the second phase, which is more of the kind of the design phase, where we're actually market testing the ideas, prototyping them, identifying the actual data assets that we're going to be integrating, designing that data product or that data monetization idea, specifying our technical requirements, and if this is going to be something that particularly if it's something that we're going to be selling externally, some functionality or data that we're going to be selling or licensing externally, we want to think about how we're going to do that. Is our existing sales team, is our existing marketing team going to be able to handle that? Or do we need to introduce new players into that mix? And then the third phase is kind of the engineering stuff, building the data products, any underlying infrastructure needs, setting up the marketing and sales and support team, and providing program and project support throughout. So if this may look kind of familiar to you, yes, it actually represents a very familiar kind of new product introduction approach, maybe with some nuances that are kind of specific to data. But listen, if you know me, I'm not about reinventing the wheel. I'm about readapting the wheel to other uses. So that's pretty much what the whole book Infonomics was about. Other ways that we manage and monetize and measure data, measure other assets and apply that to data. So same thing here. This is a kind of an approach that we've adapted from traditional product management approaches.